My name is Christina Olds, and I am Robin Olds' eldest daughter. I'm here to visit the QF-4 that's named after my dad and has been flying around painted as Scat XXVII for the last many years. That's his ring. Well, I saw it fly for the first time in 2007 at Nellis for the 60th anniversary of the Air Force, which they dedicated to my dad. So it was very emotional. He had just passed away 5 months before. I've seen it fly several times in air shows, and it's always a thrill, especially when it's up with a Mustang, which was my dad's favorite, and the F4 together, and it's really emotional. I'm glad that his name is being carried into the sky still in this capacity. Rather than sitting in the boneyard, I think he would rather have these great old warrior planes be flying and be serving the way they are. I think he'd be fascinated by it. He would probably have been up in 1 or 3 over the last few years to experience it. And I think he would understand the mission, the purpose that it would be serving. There'd be a little bit of sadness, but it's better than sitting in the boneyard or being dismantled and torn apart for parts. I think he'd be happy about that. My dad and I were great buddies, and so I followed him around like a puppy as a child and through my teens and in my 20s, and then we became best friends of sorts. And so I was able to travel with him to many speeches and air shows during his retirement years, and really got to see how revered he is by pilots around the world. And it gave me a real taste of what he was all about and what his mission was and what his personality was in the Air Force. And he was a great dad, just an amazing dad. Great fun all the time. Really great to follow around. I always felt safe with him. I have as much as a daughter could have a sense of why his men loved to follow him and said they would follow him into hell and back. I felt the same way as his child. He sincerely connected with people, as he connected with me as his child and with his friends. And what he would do when he got to his new assignments, he would stalk through the whole base and introduce himself to everyone in the hospital, in the BX, in the barber shop. He would take a 6-pack of beer out in the flight line at 3 in the morning and talk to the kids who were working on the aircraft and learn about their families, learn their kids' names, where are you guys from? And then he'd get into, what do you need? What's going on? What's going wrong? And so he did that on a really personal level. And so that meant he engaged the NCOs, he engaged the pilots, he let everyone know he cared. The thing is, it was sincere. It wasn't at all put on. That's how he was as a person. And I think that's what makes a great leader, is that personal connection. And I think that's why his leadership is almost known more today than his abilities as a fighter pilot. There are a lot of great fighter pilots, a lot of very skilled pilots, but his leadership was an innate thing with him. I think the greatest accomplishment is how he's inspiring pilots today. That, to me, is the single greatest thing. I visited Kunsan in Korea last year, and his 8th wing moved from Ubon in Thailand in the late 70s up to Kunsan. And he named the 8th wing the Wolf Pack right before Bolo, his big operation in Vietnam. And to this day, it's the Wolf Pack, and it's all about Robin, and it's all about the Wolf Pack. And you could see there's this visceral kind of thing you feel when you're there, that his spirit is so alive. And the Wolf Pack emblem and the WP on the tails of all the aircraft, everything on base is named Wolf Pack Lodge, Wolf Pack Wheels, Wolf Pack this, that. And you can feel the sense of pride, the sense of purpose, focused mission that those guys all have. What I'm doing now, and when I wrote Fighter Pilot the book, really is for the sake of all the active duty fighter pilots around the world, because I want them to have that sort of infusion of spirit that keeps them going and lets them know they're doing a great job. And my dad he's flying on their wing. Every single one of them, he's there.